It's 4 in the morning. We're in the Port of Vigo, in the north of Spain in Galicia. We're waiting for a boat that apparently is bringing 1 ton of sharks.
As surprising as it might sound, Spain ranks second in the world when it comes to shark fishing. According to data from the UN Food and Agriculture Organization, known as the FAO, only Indonesia catches more sharks. I traveled to the north of Spain to visit the Port of Vigo, the main center for the export of shark fins to Asia.
Aquí lo que se produce son las descargas todas las noches, de lunes a viernes, de los barcos que traen sobre todo pez espada y tiburones.
Edelmiro Ulloa is the Deputy Managing Director for ARVI, the Fishing Vessel Owners Cooperative of the Port of Vigo.
Consideramos que nuestra pesquería es una pesquería sostenible y absolutamente responsable porque todos nuestros tiburones vienen a puerto con la aleta adherida. Es una norma que tiene establecida la Unión Europea desde el año 2013 y somos de las pocas flotas industriales que están haciendo uso de esa norma.
The European Union finning ban was adopted in 2003 and strengthened in 2013. This regulation requires that all EU vessels worldwide land sharks with their fins naturally attached.
Pero tengo entendido que ustedes se opusieron a esa normativa en un principio.
Sí, la norma del fin attach es un poco absurda, pero bueno.
¿Por qué es absurda?
Pues porque provoca problemas de almacenaje a bordo de los barcos, problemas de seguridad para los tripulantes. Las aletas, si no están cortadas, funcionan como una cuchilla.
The law was put in place to remove any opportunity for shark finning and to help obtain accurate data on the number of sharks caught every year.
¿Cuántos días del año entonces están pescando tiburón?
Si marco con una raya en cada día del calendario, todos los días del año, evidentemente, porque tenemos muchos barcos.
I wanted to better understand the impact of these regulations, but the topic is considered so controversial that we were even denied access to film in CS Islands, a national park located in the Atlantic islands of Galicia. There, we were supposed to meet with Gonzalo MUCIENTES, a marine biologist and shark researcher.
España, una de las especies que pescan son las tintoreras, o los tiburones azules y los marrajos.
¿Qué sabemos de las poblaciones mundiales de estos tiburones?
Tenemos una incertidumbre muy alta.
¿Tenemos un estimado?
No tenemos números estimados. Las poblaciones de tiburón están reguladas por un organismo que se llama ICAT, que es el organismo científico que se encarga de coger todos estos datos y evaluarlos. Ellos son los responsables de conocer cómo están las poblaciones. Son los responsables de sacar la luz roja cuando los datos no son del todo positivos.
After speaking to Gonzalo and seeing how unclear the population data is for blue sharks and mako sharks, I realized that to understand how shark fishing really worked, I would need to speak directly to a fisherman. For this, I traveled to La Guardia, the most southern town of Galicia, which lies directly on the Atlantic Ocean.
¿Llevas pescando cuánto tiempo?
Desde los 16 años.
Pescas desde los 16 años.
Y desde los 20 de capitán, sí.
Joaquín Cadilla is the president of Orpago, the organization of longliners of La Guardia.
Es un pueblo marinero, nació como marinero. Y esta es la gamela, esta es donde estamos, es una gamela, que es una embarcación típica de este pueblo.
At the time of our interview, he had just reached land after spending 5 months at sea. But Cadilla was eager to speak, to give fishermen a voice on this topic. This is rare among fishermen, as most tend to avoid speaking about the issue of shark conservation.
Hay un reporte que dice que España es el segundo país del mundo en cantidad de tiburones pescados.
Sí que somos los que más declaramos, o sea, que pesquemos más que otras flotas, pero no sabemos lo que hacen todas las flotas, porque convivo con esas flotas en alta mar y no me creo los datos de las declaraciones. La información que manejamos es parcial. Se está cargando las tintas sobre una flota que es la española, que es la que está declarando. ¿Qué pasa con China? ¿Cuántos tiburones están cogiendo esas flotas que no declaran?
¿Crees que la regulación que hay hoy en día con el mako y con el tiburón azul es suficiente?
A nivel mundial, a nivel internacional, no. Insuficiente.
Si hay un estudio que dice que la pesca responsable para que el océano se mantenga saludable incluye dejar de pescar depredadores como los tiburones. ¿Estarás dispuesto?
¿Cómo no voy a estar dispuesto desde el amor al océano? Claro que estaría dispuesto. Y si mañana, pues, dicen los científicos del mundo que pescar tiburones es dañino para el océano, te vuelvo a decir lo mismo. ¿Cómo yo voy a querer hacerle daño al océano? Yo vivo de la mar y quiero que mis hijas y mis nietos y mis bisnietos puedan seguir viviendo de lo que da la mar.
After speaking to Cadilla about his life as a fisherman and what fishing means to the inhabitants of this town, I went back to Vigo to witness firsthand how sharks are offloaded from the fishing boats into port.
is not what I expected. It's harder from what I expected. It's very hard to watch. It's very hard to watch. I never had the experience or the opportunity to see these sharks underwater ever, and I've been looking for them. And now to see them like this, they're being just caught without any sort of like limitation. It is regarding size, disregarding area, disregarding time of the year. They just keep catching them. These are one of the fastest fish in the ocean. Definitely a beautiful predator. And the way we're treating this species is just irresponsible. There's no way this can be sustainable.
The sharks that were offloaded were just the fresh, non-frozen portion of the catch. But after 2 months at sea, there's still a large portion of frozen sharks to be offloaded. While I traveled upriver to the port where they offload the frozen catch, the fish auction was taking place at the Port of Vigo. Juan Rojas, the president of Bensemar, a fish exporting company, attends these auctions regularly. That day, more than a ton of shark was sold, a small amount compared to the usual. The mako shark was sold at around €8 per kilo, and the blue shark by around €1.65 per kilo.
More than 1,500 sharks, frozen, plus the ones we saw that were just caught, fresh sharks. And this is just one boat, on one day.
Juan Rojas didn't buy any shark since he considered the price to be too high. Once Juan had bought his merchandise, we met in the building where shark fins are caught and processed for the international trade.
¿Es bueno o es mal negocio el de la aleta tiburón?
El de la aleta tiburón, yo diría que ni bueno ni malo, que es un negocio más. Es como el que se dedica, bueno, a vender cosas.
Pero hay buenos negocios y hay malos negocios. Hay negocios que dan más plata, más dinero que otros. ¿Cómo es el negocio del
No, para nosotros te digo que es un negocio más.
Hablemos de las cantidades de aleta de tiburón que usted mueve en su negocio.
Pues unos 50.000 kilos al mes.
50.000 kilos
sí,
al mes
sí.
De aleta de tiburón.
Sí.
¿Cuál es el precio se vende por aleta, por kilo?
La aleta se está pagando sobre los 10 euros o por ahí.
¿Kilo de aleta 10 euros?
Kilo de aleta sí, se paga sobre los 10 euros en este momento. En otros momentos se han puesto a 4 euros o a 6, porque toda la oferta y la demanda es como todo en el pescado. Si no hay demanda, la aleta aquí sube. Si no hay demanda, pues baja.
Juan Rojas allowed us to enter the space where Bensemar processes shark fins. After seeing so many dead sharks and fins, I wanted to gain some clarity on why such large volumes of catch are allowed. I spoke to Alex Bartoli, who told me about his experience as part of the Shark Alliance campaign to strengthen shark fishing regulations in the European Union. We met at the Ocean Museum in Vigo.
Por ejemplo, lo que nos dice el Comité Científico de la ICAT, por ejemplo, sobre el tiburón azul, que es donde nos estamos centrando, nos dice que aparentemente no hay sobrepesca sobre la población. Pero en los mismos informes, estos mismos científicos te dicen que el tipo de datos con los que están trabajando es tan insuficiente que realmente no lo pueden asegurar.
¿Cuál sería tu recomendación a las pesqueras de tiburones azules y tiburones macos en este momento?
Mi recomendación sería establecer desde ya un límite claro de capturas para estas especies. Por una parte, la Unión Europea está tomando pasos importantes, pero a veces le falta tomarlos en serio.
With all this information, I traveled to the capital of the European Union to meet with the Director General of the Maritime Affairs and Fisheries for the European Commission. Joao Aguiar Machado.
In 2003, the Commission adopted a regulation that prohibits shark finning.
Let's talk specifically on blue sharks and mako sharks.
Well, for these two species, as I said, we have either annually we set quotas, what we call fishing opportunities.
As I understand it, there's no quotas for these two species.
Because these species are not assessed scientifically as being in a dangerous situation.
I've talked to a couple of scientists about this. None of them could give me an estimate of blue shark and mako populations. They don't know the numbers. They just don't have the science. They don't know.
But we need to take decisions based on the best available science. You need to collect more data, and you need to develop more research.
So the EU has no plans to put limits right now on blue sharks and mako sharks?
So far, no.
In the United States, shark fishing is regulated by NOAA, and many species, including mako and blue sharks, have quotas in place, limiting the maximum number of sharks that are allowed to be caught. The EU, on the other hand, doesn't have any domestic quotas in place for blue sharks or mako sharks. Sharks, they're apex predators, basically keeping the ocean ecosystems in check. Should we be even catching them, fishing sharks?
I agree with you that sharks play a crucial role in the marine ecosystem. By the way, I would think that the role of sharks is similar like the lion.
To my point. Would you agree to have an industry based on a lion or tiger?
No, but I don't think that we are at this stage at a point that a general prohibition on sharks is the best method and the best way forward.
There are many countries out there, I must say, like Bahamas, Palau, that they actually have prohibited shark fishing, and they build industries around shark tourism. What do you think about that?
It's possible. The question, it depends on the circumstances of each region.
I witnessed firsthand how the Bahamas is the perfect place to interact with these majestic creatures, because the entire island nation is a shark sanctuary and has banned shark fishing. It is one of the few places left where you can see such a healthy abundance of sharks.
People come to the Bahamas just to see the sharks. Economically, sharks are very positive for the Bahamas. We have shown that we bring in several $100 million a year that is spread throughout the economy with hotels, restaurants, of course, shopping.
Bahamas banned shark fishing. The United States has some form of regulation regarding shark fishing, and the European Union is on its way to strengthen its own regulations. But the action of countries as individuals isn't enough to assure the conservation of sharks.
As a policymaker, I would not be able in any way to sell such a policy.
Entiendo que para no tener problemas con el sector pesquero, pero a veces a la Unión Europea le falta un poco de valentía para acabar de dar los pasos.
Lo que pasa es que nosotros somos los únicos que declaramos toda nuestra producción.
¿Qué pasa con China? ¿Cuántos tiburones están cogiendo esas flotas que no declaran?
Al final, las industrias se crean porque hay una demanda social.
Si China hay demanda, la aleta aquí sube. Si no hay demanda, pues baja.
It's a matter of demand. If the consumption for shark products decreased, shark fishing would decrease as well. Meat consumption in the south of Europe and some Latin American countries such as Brazil is also a big part of this demand. Most shark fins are exported to Asia, and in particular to China. They're mainly used for shark fin soup, a dish to which shark fins add no nutritional value or taste. While China is the country with the biggest fleet in the world, they only report the sharks caught by their international vessels, but do not share data with the FAO on catch volumes from their domestic fleet. Shark fishing, shark products, meat, and shark fin soup. Do we need to keep having an industry based on an apex predator whose function is to keep our oceans healthy?